Buffalo Bills. How do you feel about 10.5? That's the line that's been bestowed upon their 2024 win total.
What do the old Bills say, right? When it's too tough for them, it's just right for us.
Bills Mafia feeling a little like Tony Soprano does about his uncle or mom. I mean, we're family, but there's only so much one can take. You know what I mean?
The Bills are only left thinking about what could have been.
Bills are riding the same train the Ravens, Cowboys, 49ers are. 11-6, 12-5, 16-1. None of those numbers matter.
Season over?
They can't make a 3-game run at the end. Bill Burr's going to have to go back to stand-up.
Backs against the wall. You're coming out firing, man. That's what we got to do every week.
You can say the same thing about the Texans punter, by the way.
Yeah!
But can they scratch out even 11 wins again without their top 2 wide receivers from last year?
It's a trifecta!
Remember, their offense was 6th in points per game, 4th in yards per game.
Throws it to Diggs for a touchdown!
1st on 3rd down.
Fires a bullet into Stephon Diggs!
6th in the red zone.
And he's gonna sail into the end zone!
Now Josh Allen has to try and prevent drop-off without his top target for the last 4 years.
I told you I was going to kill him.
Stephon Diggs traded away.
Breaks through the contact from Go.
After going for over 100 catches, over 1,100 yards, and 8 touchdowns.
55 yards to Pater!
Their number 2 wideout is also not returning.
Quick hitter to Gabe Davis on a slant!
Gabe Davis and his 700-plus yards left for warmer climates.
Complete to Davis for the touchdown!
Now we see what Allen is about without them.
Gabe Davis, the touchdown maker!
Bills' passing attack was good for 8th most passing yards per game. And
James Cook, who leaps into the end zone!
And they were only middle of the pack in pass attempts.
Touchdown, Buffalo!
Allen threw 29 touchdowns, over 250 yards passing per contest.
It's a touchdown!
Also continued to have his turnover issues. 18 INTs is a lot.
And it's intercepted again!
He fumbled away his fair share, too.
Josh Allen came in with 19 turnovers. He's now got 22.
The Bills, again, trying to cut back on the giveaways this year. It's plagued them for 2 years running.
And the Patriots with a takeaway!
So who is Allen working with this season? Wide receiver Khalil Shakir should see an uptick in his targets.
He's going all the way for the touchdown!
600-plus yards in 2023, 500-yard jump from his year 1 to year 2.
Did a disappearing act on the tackler, looking for the end zone, and he's in!
Bills signed Curtis Samuel, comes over from Washington, 60-plus catches, 600-plus yards.
Over the middle, caught, and touchdown for Curtis Samuel!
Filling out the wideout picture, second-rounder Keon Coleman.
He's going to be able to win with bodies all the way around him. After the catch, he can make people miss. He breaks tackles with his strength.
Bills' passing attack features a good tight end. Dalton Kincaid was really good, actually, and only a rookie.
Back across the middle of Kincaid, waltzes into the end zone!
Over 70 catches, over 650 yards.
First career touchdown grab as a Buffalo Bill.
They also have Dawson Knox, his bud. Production dropped last year because of Dalton.
Oh, that's today, baby.
Running back James Cook, big part of the passing game, over 40 catches, over 400 receiving yards.
Flicks it out to James Cook, who's in!
Cook had a breakout year in 2023 as a runner, over 1,100 yards, 4.7 a run.
James Cook, who had 221 all-purpose yards in this game.
Allen also hit at 4.7 a carry.
He's gonna tuck it and run right up the gut.
Over 500 rushing yards.
Release the beast!
15 rushing TDs.
Looking for the end zone! Touchdown!
Buffalo's O-line lost one of its starters from the group that opened up all those holes. Center Mitch Morrison, he had a good year. Rest of the group is back, though. All come off good seasons.
Let's go!
Left tackle Deion Dawkins. Right tackle Spencer Brown. Guards Osiris Torrance, Connor McGovern. Connor Shelby would hire them for protection for sure.
Lean on you guys all game. Let's go.
Bills, with a scrambling quarterback, gave up the fewest sacks in the NFL last year.
Strike right down the seam.
So, some pretty big changes to that offense, and they made plenty with that defense, too.
And it fumbled through the end zone. Is it a touchback?
This was a unit that was 4th in points per game allowed last season.
Fires one over the middle, and it's intercepted.
9th in yards per game.
Loses the ball. It's on the turf at the 40.
They can't really afford to regress.
Picked up by Terrell Bernard.
3 recent mainstays in Buffalo's secondary, no more.
Punch it in, boys.
Both safeties. Safety Jordan Poyer, 100 tackles last year, a big voice in the locker room.
Come on!
He did give up a +100 rating for what it's worth in the passing game, and his partner, also gone, safety Micah Hyde, rate allowed close to 100 as well last year.
Smell good today, come find me today.
They'll roll with Taylor Rapp in one spot, held his targets to a low 80s rating.
And it's intercepted by Taylor Rapp!
And they picked up Mike Edwards from Kansas City, also played the pass well coming off the bench most games.
It's gonna be intercepted. Mike Edwards intercepted.
No more Trey Day at cornerback. White departs on a 4-game season, so they were used to playing without him anyway.
Picked off by takeaway Trey!
Nickel cornerback Taron Johnson is back. Mid-90s rating allowed isn't bad with slot receivers. His tackling skills top-notch, 98 wrap-ups last year.
Taron Johnson in coverage!
Cornerback Christian Benford returns off a season that saw him lead the team in passes defense, held quarterbacks to a sub-90 rating.
Goes high and it's intercepted!
Rasul Douglas, the third corner, came over late in the season but sparkled. They'd take anything close to a 38 rating allowed like he put down for them in 2023.
Picked up by Rasul Douglas!
Also added safety Cole Bishop to the mix, nabbed him in the second round of the draft.
A big-time ball magnet. You can use him to match up and cover tight ends, and plays with huge energy.
Buffalo held quarterbacks to an 81.9 rate, 7th lowest.
And it's picked off!
Second fewest TD passes allowed.
And picked off!
Tied for the third most INTs, under 200 yards per game passing allowed. Last year's group was top 7 good at least. Can they maintain with all that change?
And it's picked off by Kyer Elam!
54 sacks in 2023, 4th most, so that bar is kind of high too.
Everybody's getting in on the act today.
Their sack leader departed, Leonard Floyd, smashed it 10.5 times.
And he will be sacked!
He was the only double-digit sack guy. It was a collective effort.
And Epinesa has the football!
DT Ed Oliver, half a bag short of double digits. He returns.
Ed Oliver fumble ball out!
Defensive end Greg Rousseau is back, 5 sacks for him.
And again he goes down!
5 is a little low, expected more from him. Linebacker AJ Epinesa came off the bench for 6.5 sacks.
It's Epinesa!
And they're crossing their fingers that Von Miller can show back up. 0 sacks in 12 games last year. Hasn't been the same since being hurt. They hope defensive tackle Daquan Jones can make it all season.
Oh, watch out!
He comes off a season that saw him only play 7 games.
This is an unsung hero across the league right now. This guy has taken off.
2.5 sacks in those 7 contests. They like their inside linebackers.
They can't run the football inside, and they know it.
Terrell Bernard, over 130 tackles last year.
Welcome to the league, baby. Welcome to the league.
Matt Milano is an A-level linebacker coming back from injury, only 5 games last year.
Over the middle and intercepted. That's Milano.
Tyler Seabass, 24 of 29 kicking, not money exactly. He missed from all sorts of ranges too, so watch carefully.
It's off the upright and through!
The thumbnail overview, playmakers go first. Diggs and Davis for Coleman and Samuel. Both new guys are downgrades. Allen is really going to be tested as a passer this year. 4 of their 5 O-linemen from last year are back. Have to hash out that one inside spot. McGovern could slide over to center. Morse will be tough to replace though. Watch camp to see who nabs the 5th spot. Defensive front, all returning Bills, but it will be different. Milano playing a full year is an upgrade over Tyrell Dodson, giving Epinesa a push with Floyd. Epinesa only started 1 game last year, so he has a shot at double-digit sacks if he starts all season. Secondary, lots of change. Cole Bishop, Mike Edwards at the safety spots. For Hyde and Poyer, I don't know. Edwards and Hyde a push based on last year's play at least. Losing Poyer, though, will hurt. Losing Trey Day off a 4-game year isn't as big a deal as it could have been. A Bills hater will argue they're a 9-win type team after all the offseason changes, so apply that to their schedule to find a potential floor. Wins against Arizona at home, Jacksonville at home. Weeks 4 to 6 on the road are brutal. Bounce back with a win over Tennessee. Still good enough to take Seattle on the road. Defend the rock pile versus Miami. Road win versus the Colts. And then skip down and finish with a sweep of the expected to be lowly Patriots. A floor of 8 wins, which would trigger lots of change.
Miss it, man, miss it.
Spray yourself with mustard and ketchup and then jump on a table and you'll come up with their ceiling. Coleman is a star, they're better without Diggs. If that's the case, give them a huge statement win over the Chiefs at home and add a win over the Rams on the road and beat the Jets at home late too, bringing their ceiling to 11-6. Allen in this scenario has an MVP type year. Cook is a monster.
Yeah!
Game preview guide guess, 9 and 8, I suppose. I've heard of the addition by subtraction concept, but I failed math, so I don't know how that works, and I don't think it will in their case either.
Where else are you going to see that? Not many other places. Maybe medieval times right around the corner.